Good morning. It is Monday, the 6th of July, and our daily lectionary takes us to Romans chapter 1. Paul is writing here, "For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and wickedness of men, who by their wickedness suppress the truth. For what can be known about God is plain to them, because God has shown it to them. Ever since the creation of the world, his invisible nature, namely his eternal power and deity, has been clearly perceived in the things that have been made. So they are without excuse, for although they knew God, they did not honor him as God or give thanks to him. But they became futile in their thinking, and their senseless minds were darkened. Claiming to be wise, they became fools and exchanged the glory of immortal God for images resembling mortal man, or birds, or animals, or reptiles. Therefore God gave them up in the lusts of their hearts to impurity, to the dishonoring of their bodies among themselves, because they exchanged the truth about God for a lie, and worshipped and served the creature rather than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen." Well, it's a powerful text, and it reminds us that our two duties to God prior to the covenant that God makes with us through Christ, our two duties to God are to honor him and to give thanks to him. And those are two things which all human beings ought to do. Of course, if one refuses to recognize that God is the Creator, the benevolent Creator, the good Creator, then probably the honor and thanks are held back. Or if one wants to usurp what God has made and appropriate it for oneself, then one would hold back honor and thanks from God. Or if one perhaps is filled with despair and sees creation as a downward cycle, and one's participation in it as a downward cycle, perhaps in despair one would not honor God or give thanks to God. But the duty of all human beings is to honor God and give thanks to God for his goodness, for the love which is behind his creating anything at all, and the love which is behind him giving us creation and entrusting it to us. That love will be further exemplified in the giving of the Christ as a corrective to what we have done and where we have gone with our freedom. But first of all, our duty to God is to honor him and to give thanks to him. And before we get into anything else, it should be our duty every day when we awake to honor and thank God. Our duty every day before we go to sleep to honor and thank God. For the Lord is good. He is always good. He is good all the time. Thanks be to God.